Okusinziira kwatwala ettendekero lino eya National Crop Research Resources Institute, Dr. Titus Alichai agamba nti bukyanga ettendekero lino litandikibwawo ebintu bingi ebikoleddwako abakugu omuli okunoonyereza wamu n'okukola ensigo ennongooseemu ez'omulembe okugeza ng'ensigo ez'akasooli, ebijanjaalo wamu n'ensigo endala nga bino oluvannyuma lw'okugezesebwa nga tebirina bulabe bwonna biweebwa abalimi ne basobola okubirima olwo ne bongera okulima ebintu eby'omulembe n'oluvannyuma bwe basobola okuggya akasimbi akawera.
Over the years, we have released over 100 technologies from this institute that have been variously adopted by farmers in this country and beyond. And we have documented that in some cases there's up to 70% adoption of our technologies, and these are positively impacting the growers in this country.
Ono ategeeza nti baliko okunoonyereza okw'enjawulo kwe bakoze kungi naddala ku ndwadde ez'ebirime ssaako n'okuzuula eddagala erisobola okuzigema oba okujjanjabira ddala endwadde ezo nga muzimu ku ndwadde ze basobola okukolako mulimu ekirwadde ekya muwogo wamu n'endwadde endala.
We have in a very significant way controlled some major pests and diseases that have affected this country and the region. An example is the cassava mosaic disease pandemic that started here in Uganda, and within 10 years had spread to about 10 other countries in Eastern, Central, and Southern Africa from the mid-1990s. By 2004, our work through the development and dissemination of disease-resistant varieties had brought that disease epidemic of cassava mosaic under control.
Mu bimu ku biri mu kunoonyerezebwako abakugu ku ttendekero lino mulimu okwongera omutindo ku birime nga muwogo, kasooli, ebijanjaalo, ekirime eky'ensujju wamu n'ebirala ng'abakugu bano bwe bannyonnyola.
To get a variety of cassava, it takes a minimum of about 8 years. We start with the making process. We use flowers because we are doing conventional breeding. So we make crosses to get seed, and then we take the seeds for germination to get seedlings, and then we begin evaluations. So we evaluate at different stages, and this stage is what we call the advanced yield trial stage.
Bano bagamba nti okunoonyereza kwe bakola mu byobulimi bakokola okusinziira ku bwetaavu bw'abalimi mu ggwanga olwo ne kisobola okuyambako ku ngeri abalimi gye basobola okufuna mu bulimi.
We go in the industry and talk to the industries. What is your need as far as this crop variety is concerned? And once we capture those needs, that gives us the profile of the crop variety that our team has to develop and come up.
At that stage, we now go back to the farmers and ask them again, what you told us, we want to evaluate. These are the products we have made. Can we check whether they have what you want? It's like a check, we check. Okay, so we bring the farmers on board, they participate in checking whether what they told us to produce has been captured in the new variety that we have developed.
Wano n'ensigo zinnansango abakugu balina bwe bazikuumira okusobola okwewala okuzifiirwa nga n'okukola okunoonyereza bwe kugenda mu maaso.
Conservation of genetic materials. Actually, the pumpkins you are seeing here are our own, but collected across the country, across the different agroecologies. The same applies to tomato we have, and the other greenhouse, the one up there, and also for pepper. Since we are looking at export, we have our own and also those which have been introduced from elsewhere.
Abakugu ku ttendekero lino essira balyongedde mu kunoonyereza ku birime ng'omuceere wamu n'eŋŋano bannayuganda basobole okulima ensigo ezongeddwako omutindo baleme kufiirwa.
We are saying the rice that we have is of good quality, but we now need to invest in branding so that we deploy particular variety by something close to the name to a particular area. And that's why when you go now to Doho irrigation scheme, you'll find about 60 to 70% of the scheme is growing Naro rice 1. Of course, they'll call it new super.
Okunoonyereza kuno kulimu okunoonyereza ku muceere wamu n'eŋŋanda ebisobola okugumira embeera y'obudde enkambwe okugeza ng'omusana nga tekikomako okubirima mu bitundu birimu mazzi mangi.
To research in collaboration with the CIMIT and the CADA, we introduced different types of genetics that is able to grow in lower altitudes, and that is what we call the heat-tolerant wheat. Because traditionally wheat is a cool season crop. So due to breeding and improvement, there is now wheat that can grow in lower altitudes with higher temperatures. And we are testing this right from Karamoja. Here in Namulonge, we have in Masindi. We have also taken them to Kasese. Kasese is very hot, so that we can be able to select things that are really adapted and can be produced across the country.
As we work towards climate interventions, one of the interventions we work towards is to produce varieties that are drought tolerant.
Wabula okusinziira ku bano bagamba nti abantu abamu balowooza nti okunoonyereza okukolebwa ku birime wano kiviirako okungula ebirime ebyawukana mu ngeri ez'enjawulo okugeza ng'empooma, akawoowo akabibaamu ssaako n'ebirala. Bano kye bagamba nti si kituufu.
The new generation of varieties that we have are now able to make us preserve some of those old characteristics or preferred characteristics. It can be a simple thing like flavor. When you are eating that food, you want that aroma, you want to feel it. It can be the taste. When you chew and bite, how does it feel in your palate? It can be how much time it takes to cook or how long it stays in the soil. So we are now able to address that through the use of technology.
When the variety is developed, we make sure we retain what is preferred, especially the culinary qualities, the aroma, the softness, and even the shape.
Bagamba nti bannayuganda naddala abali mu bizinensi y'omuceere bakyasanga obuzibu okwawula ebika by'omuceere eby'enjawulo ssaako n'engeri gye gupaakingibwamu, era bwe batyo ne basaba banekolera jange oba bali mu private sector okuvaayo nabo beegatte mu kulima omuceere mu Uganda.
Involved in the rice marketing haven't seen business in it. And they haven't known that there are different varieties that have different attributes. So they even buy what is already mixed and they mill and they sell with a brand, a group name like Kaiso. Kaiso is around 7 varieties called Kaiso. So if we go into volume, and this starts with seed to a scheme, and what comes from this scheme goes to a mill, well supervised, then you give a brand name. Then you can even get a markup price. And that is what is lacking. We haven't invested there, and we need a private sector.